with TikTok?
Okay.
How about
Can you
now?
hear us now?
How about now? This is why I have people who know more about technology.
I may be barely 30. I still know
Keep
nothing
talking.
about technology. Help me.
All right. So is the audio better?
She hasn't replied back.
Okay.
To be determined.
Well, I mean, all I gotta do is just.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
Thank you so much. All right. Now I get to start all over.
Know.
And I'm assuming it's 5 after now.
Yes, it's
Yes.
5 after.
Oh,
Yes.
look! I just did an entire spiel and it was not heard. Anyway, okay.
It was really good too.
Thank you. That was just for the people who are in person. Okay. All right. Welcome everyone online and in person. It was practice run. There you go. To the Sunday service. We do Sunday services once a month at the Temple of Akate of Potropea. As much as we'd like to do them more, everyone in the temple has a very busy life. We're very, very busy. So, because of that, we do one Sunday, which is the first Sunday of the month. That's where we kind of discuss things that are coming up, any information or vibes that we've been experiencing. I always have us go through some sort of ritual and grounding, and then we usually just kind of like go about our day. It's just a way for us to kind of set the month right out the gate. Okay, so going back to what I was initially talking about, we start this month with the end of a journey. It seems very apropos with how things are going in the world, right? Having to close doors to people, places, and things and experiences that we once saw as important facets in our life, and then seeing how it affects others, and it's just a lot. So that was followed up with Guidance by Hecate, which was half. Not very helpful, again. And then that was followed up by Clover. So as we begin this month, I want everyone to first and foremost take some time while we do today's service and rite to think about what doors you have left open, or what doors have remained open and are now needing to come to a close, or are needing to be readjusted. Okay. As we move through this, today's quote unquote sermon essentially is about trusting our own discernment. It's trusting to know when to say something, when not to say something, when to feel something, and when you feel that, if it's yours or someone else's or something else's. So for that today, all of you will see that you have a little piece of black cord. Okay, if you do not bring one, we provided it. We have some rocks up here collected by some temple members. They're little teeny tiny ones. We have some wormwood sprigs from the back garden, and it's going to be a really simple spell, but it's a spell that is going to be effective. It's a spell that is to anchor a charm to help us remember that sometimes it's better for us to keep our cards close to our chest, not for any reason other than we never truly know who is standing where. And we saw that with just recently with a whole handful of individuals saying they stand behind certain people and then saying no. And so this charm that I was led to create and guided to help you all with today isn't for keeping secrets. It's not for hiding things. Instead, It is to craft an anchor of your truth. It is to craft an anchor of your being. It is to craft an anchor of your communication. It's to craft an anchor of clarity, stability, and focus for you. One of the most important things when we start working with Hecate, or we start removing dogmatic things from our spiritual practice, is that we find out that we and we alone are responsible for our personal growth. We and we alone are responsible for our spiritual growth. We and we alone are responsible for our truth. We and we alone are responsible for our well-being. And as selfish as that sounds, and as counterproductive as it sounds, as a collective and as a community, I ask you, how many times have you found yourself snapping at those who are closest to you, or projecting your own internal fears, anger, emotion, worry, and anxiety onto those who are around you and are closest to you, simply because you are in a state of reactivity versus in a state of, I can do this now, or I don't have the capacity and it's nothing to do with you. One of the things that I've noticed as a reverend, minister, high priest, ex, whatever the hell title you want to take, or whatever you want to have, or whatever you want to give me. One of the things that I have noticed in the last year that has not only improved my practice and my personal power, but has also improved my connection to the gods, has improved my connection to the spirits of land, sea, and sky, of place, that has helped reaffirm my faith, is the understanding that you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. And a lot of the times when we are practitioners of any sort, whether we are working professionally for other people or we just have family members and friends and colleagues who come to us for random little things, we tend to suffer caretaker burnout. So, anyone here, anyone online, if you are feeling caretaker burnout, this is a charm that's going to help with that. If you do not know what caretaker burnout is quite simply put, it's when someone who is a caretaker, such as a nurse, a psychologist, a therapist, a doctor, a healer, a health psychic, spiritual practitioner, whatever, someone who has put themselves in a position of the caretaking or responsibility of others, and they have sacrificed their own personal well-being for it. Albeit they're not sacrificing their full well-being, they're still, getting up, showering, taking care of those things, but they aren't taking care of the things that feed their fire. When we first started the Temple of Hecate at Potropea in November, when I first announced it and we had our first meeting, we did the ignition of the soul fire, or the igniting of the holy fire or soul fire. And the reason I crafted and created that ritual was because one of the things that we tend to get wrong in our spiritual practice, or not necessarily wrong, but something that we tend to forget, is that while our spiritual practice, yes, is for ourselves, our spiritual practice also indirectly can affect others around us. I'm not talking karma. I'm not talking things like that. I'm talking going so far to the extreme of sacred selfishness that you stop being sacredly selfish towards yourself and just start being selfishly sacred. It's when those roles reverse that it's an issue. This charm can help prevent that because it helps you not only speak your truth, but know when it is time and when it is appropriate. In the course of the reading that I did this month and the forecast I did for July, which is what inspired my random chitty chat for today, was sirens, and there was cyclops. I'd have to pull the reading up on my phone to look at it, but essentially there's a part in the story of the Odyssey where they are on an island of the Cyclops, and Odysseus is like, no, this is really cool, I want to hang out here more. And because he wants to learn more and he wants more, he puts the rest of his crew in danger. Though you may not be a quote unquote high priest, high priestess, high priestess, leader, reverend, minister, chaplain, whatever title there is, though you may not be that officially, how many times have you seen yourself being placed in that position for others? Even if that is just sitting in a position of empathy so you can listen to someone else vent. We've all been put in that position. And instead of us going the complete opposite direction, which is what a lot of people do with building resentments and stuff like that, and becoming selfish, it's important that we remember that we are not the rescuer or the savior. That is not our job or our position. Our job and our position is the coach. When we look at the Cartman drama, triangle theory in modern psychology, we see three archetypes that we consistently fall into in our society and into culture, and in culture. And it's due to, strangely enough, how society found sitcoms started, and how sitcoms were popular, and how storylines were thrilling. We talked about this a little bit when we talked about sitting in shadow a few months ago. And so I figured, let's go deeper from that conversation. When we sit in shadow, it's not just sitting in shadow to be in misery. It's not just sitting in shadow to be uncomfortable so that we can say we've done the hard thing. When we sit in shadow, it is so that we can become comfortable or acclimatized to discomfort. Once you have become acclimatized to that discomfort, it allows you to actually see that discomfort for what it actually is. Are you reacting in fear? Are you reacting in other ways? And if you are reacting in certain ways, look at different archetypes that you can see involved in this. Are you reacting in a savior way, where you're having to rush in, where you feel you need to rush in and save everyone and do everything for them? And then by the time you're done doing that, you were burnt out and frustrated because now you've done everything for this person and they have not learned how to do it for themselves. And so now that you've turned yourself away from focusing on them to focusing on other things and other parts of what's important for you, what ends up happening is they start to get toxic. They start to fall away. And then when you are put in a position of coach, where instead of going, oh, I'll do it for you, and instead you go, well, remember how I did this, and this is how it worked before, you need to try it this way. Like, have you tried that? The response is going to be a blow up. It's going to be a fallout. It's going to be a disaster. From there, we also see the archetype of persecutor / bully, where we point fingers and say, no, it's your fault, not mine. It's your fault, not mine. No, I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with this. And when we look at that, it takes a minimum of 2 to tango. And so sitting in shadow also allows us to be able to look at it objectively and go, okay, did I in fact have anything to do in that? And I guarantee, yes, you did. That doesn't make you wrong. That doesn't make you mean. That doesn't make you evil. That doesn't make you anything other than fucking human. So what do we do to combat that? Well, we acknowledge it first. We acknowledge that, yeah, could have done something better. Could have handled that better. could have reacted in a better way. Could have, would have, should have, though. Something that one of my college professors always told me was, it's so great that you did better that one time. Are you going to do it consistently now? And yes, it takes time for consistency. For as much as I know about psychology and behavior, I don't know how long it takes to build a healthy routine or habit. Mainly because, well, that's really hard for me as someone. Though I thrive on it. So when we are in those moments, and right now, however you're feeling, remember that part of getting anything done, part of seeing anything moving, part of seeing any effective positive change happening is taking accountability for where you are not being active in it. It's kind of like if you are going to your favorite local coffee shop and they're doing votes to change one of their menu items. Well, you go there every day, but you didn't bother to cast your vote. But then your favorite item is the thing that's removed. So now you're upset about it, but you didn't do anything about it. You didn't cast a vote. You didn't talk about it. You didn't bring up concerns. You didn't ask if it's something that would still be able to be made, whether or not. You didn't ask. You just went, not my problem. Everyone else will think like me. No. In a world where we are, especially in the West, so centered on the self, it is important that we also think about the collective we. And the way we do that is by being active in community, being active in those decisions, letting our opinions, our feelings, our concerns be known. And a lot of times we don't want to do that because why? Uncomfortable. Conflict might happen. I was never listened to when I was a kid. Whatever those things may be. That doesn't mean that you are then exempt from that. Right? So what I want everyone to think of right now, as we kind of take this concept of accountability, I want everyone to think of a moment in their life where you know that you probably could have handled it better. Whether that is an interaction with a customer service rep, whether that is an interaction with a family member, partner, fur baby, whatever. Whatever that interaction is, that thing where you are feeling like your expression of how you are feeling was destructive, I want you to think about that. Because when we look at expression, expressing is not a bad thing. How we express and what is done with that by those we express to, that is the true, like that is how we focus on building community. I got donuts today. The reason I got donuts was because, well, yes, the majority of people enjoy donuts. Am I aware that there are people who have celiacs and stuff like that? Yes, I'm aware of that. If I knew that there was anyone who did that, I would make sure to have something for them. Or let them know that, hey, if you want to bring some stuff to have, I will gladly keep this for you. You know, it's not hard to think about others when it's something as simple as, how was your day? How are you feeling? And when someone expresses something that they are feeling towards you. If we're thinking about partners, if we're thinking about friends, family members, anything like that, if they express something to you that you are doing or have done that has created them distress, we must remember that they're doing that because they are in a place of vulnerability. They're doing that with the hopes, or hopefully with the intention of clearing air and finding resolve, or expressing, this is something that you do that hurts and upsets me. It is from that point that we then go, okay, how can we work on this together? What can I do on my end that will support this work? Okay. So think about those interactions you've had where you've had probably more than fiery interactions with your partner or your friends or your brothers or your sisters or your families or your community members. Think about it. And allow yourself to think in less of a third person view and more as if you were just watching a television show. Watching your favorite after school 90s special. And I challenge you that when you sit there and you look at that interaction as if you were just watching an after school special or a sitcom or something like that, you'll go, oh my God, how often have I seen this theme in my own life? I don't know if it is because neurodivergent neurospiciness. I don't know if it's just how influential media is. But when we take a step back and we look at things, and we can actually go, oh, yeah, that was more than it needed to be, or that was not right. And we can observe it from that perspective. It allows us to hopefully not push ourselves down, but instead lift ourselves up so that we can actually assist in the issue. So we can actually see where those archetypes are and go to the opposites. So we have coach, which is the positive aspect of savior. We have victim. The positive aspect of victim is challenger. Okay. So instead of thinking, why me, poor me, why me, challenging yourself in challenging the situation and how to see it in a different perspective allows us to remove ourselves from victim mentality. And when we can remove ourselves from that victim shadow, it lets us go, oh, yeah, that was an Austin thing. Or, oh yeah, no, that wasn't, I don't know what was going on there, but we need to talk about that. And then you have persecutor or bully, which the one after that is usually like, I think it's cheerleader or like supporter or something. I have to check back in the therapy notes. But when my therapist brought this up to me, it was very interesting because when I stepped back and I looked at the interactions I've had, not just in the pagan and witchcraft community, but just in personal interactions with friends, family members, old coworkers, bosses, I was like, oh, I was treating life like an after-school special. And it's easy for us, especially as someone who is neurodivergent and neurospicy, such as myself, to fall into those things. Because as humans, we learn from things around us. Who here has a cat who thinks they're a dog? Who here has a dog who thinks they're a cat? Who here has that animal and has had that animal growing up around said opposite animal since they were a kid or a puppy or a baby, or know that they grew up around those things? Behaviors are learned. And so today, as we think about those interactions we've had, our little after school special sermon, I guess is what I'll call it, we're gonna craft this chunk, okay? But before we do that, we're gonna go ahead and get the ritual space open. Okay? So, Aida, behind you there are lights. If you will flip those lights off. Thank you. What I would like everyone to do is close their eyes and just take a few deep breaths with their feet on the floor.
I was saying, if you need our hands on the floor, that's gonna be a tall order.
First, I'm gonna do a little bit of Kurnips. Kurnips is something that I like to do because it's simple and it's easy. So, breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. In and out through your nose and mouth. This is for everyone online as well. For those of you who are online, please go ahead and ignite your candle now. Serpent of azure flame. Purify myself. And I'm going to go ahead and pass this Kurnips around. When it reaches you, simply put your hands in it and anoint yourself on your 3 power centers. Okay? And then you can just kind of gently sprinkle it around you, like this. And while we're doing that, what I would like everyone to do is just do a gentle hum. This is for everyone online too. Let yourself focus on breathing in. Let that hum happen. What we want to do is we want to feel the vibrations within ourselves.
Okay, close your eyes. Exhale. Feel your body relax.
Thank you. That's so lovely.
Opportune timing.
So the music we're listening to is, we do not own the rights to. It is Kiki Rockwell. As you are listening, allow yourself to breathe. Pecas. All profane beings that we tend to harm, profane concepts of hot crime, profane thoughts, sexual illusion. I call upon Agate to incinerate you with fire and wash away, make you clean and pure with criminals. Get into the line. Procolo progressive with finance in class of Procolo progressive with finance in class of Procolo progressive with finance in class of We banish the profane, the unwanted, and the unworthy. We speak only truth and shall be heard. Hail, many mother of the gods, whose children are fair. Hail, mighty Hecate of the threshold, he holder of the world. Hail to the Enodia, keeper of the 4 and 3-way crossroads. Nether nocturnal and infernal one, I beckon to you as a lover. Embrace me and whisper to me your mysteries. Night Mother, Savior, Mistress of Solitude, Lady of Light and the darkness that contains it. You who walks wild and disheveled through tombs and cremation grounds, cloaked in saffron crowned with oak leaves and coils of serpents. You who swallowed by hordes of ghost dogs, demons, and other restless spirits, yet is also the witness and pristine purity realms. I beckon to you as a lover, grace me and whisper to your mysteries. Calliope, grant me the key to the mysteries. Goliath, throw open the gates. Pospore, Light my path with your twin torches of mercy and severity. Roll steer me safely to the four rivers. Brimo, shake the pillars of perception with your wrath. Anasta and Orion, Queen of the Dead, awaken the ancestors. Jesus, bind all demons and set them to my service. Zarathia, send forth the serpents. Akati Katonia, teacher, Queen of Sorcery, teacher of howlings and bindings, I beckon to you as a lover. Embrace me and whisper to me your mysteries. Bestow upon us your blessings and power, and show us the way of things. Now, allow yourself to go back to that time. In your mind's eye, I want you to bring that time up into your mind clearly and visually. I want you to, in that moment, I want you to take up the stone that you have. Well, you don't have the stone yet, but we have stones up here. So these stones represent a fixed point in time. What we're doing is we're utilizing emotion to bring that feeling up of, I have something to say, but in that moment of me saying it, I put my foot in my mouth and I didn't mean to. I want you to bring up that moment and bring up those emotions and those feelings that you had therein. As you connect with that energy, as you connect with that vibe, what you are doing is essentially charging this stone with that energy. We are going to be transmuting that now. What I would like everyone to do, whilst you are visualizing this and letting that energy flow into the stone, I'm going to be giving you a little piece of wormwood. This wormwood, you can even break it up. Wormwood wormwood likes to conjure spirits, and it likes to help them manifest. So essentially what we are doing with wormwood is we are manifesting the spirit of kindness. We are manifesting and pulling forward the energy and the virtues of compassion, clear communication, understanding when to speak versus when to let our tongue rest. As you connect to the spirit of wormwood, or dandelion, or whatever flower you have on mind that you brought, I want you to begin to slowly, in your mind, reform and restructure the flow of that experience. Okay. When you have started to reform and restructure that flow, and you have the energy of clear communication, compassionate communication, kind, honest, truthful communication, I want you to gently place that over the stone. Take the string you have, keep your mouth nice and wet with your spit, and you're going to drag that string through your mouth. Okay? What you're doing now is you're anointing it with witch's venom. We know historically in witchcraft, witch's venom or spit held power. Who needs a condition oil when you got your own spit? The reason I'm having us do something like this that is so simple and seems so makeshifty is because guess what? That's witchcraft and magic. Okay? And it doesn't have to be soaked, just enough to get your DNA in there. Okay? Huh?
Should have let.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Now, once you have that, I want you to again close your eyes and begin to wrap this thread gently and tightly and slowly and methodically around the stone and wormwood or dandelion. What you are doing as you're doing this is you are going to be incanting Io Heka Io Ho. Okay, one of my favorite chants. It's great because it calls up the current of Heka going beyond and hailing the goddess Hecate. Okay, so as you're doing that, you want to weave that mantra, that incantation into it. The colors, if you are a color person and you like to visualize that you would be weaving and energy, would be yellows, it would be golds, it would be blues, it would be purples, light pinks, periwinkles. Now, if you really want to get crazy, and you really want to be super, super cool, you could totally wrap this up, put it in your mouth, hold it between your teeth, and then do the mantras that way. I wouldn't do that though, because I don't know where the rocks outside have been other than outside.
In my shirt.
I know for a fact that there are doggos that happen to go outside. So I do not know.
Yep.
So I would say don't do that. So now once you have it wrapped, I'm going to lead us through a short little visualization. And I'm going to have some drumming, some drum music going on, okay? Okay. So as you hold this stone in your hand, I want you to bring it to your lips. When it's done, and I want you to speak to it. Tell it its job. So we have 3 components, or we include spit. Stone in time that cannot change. I rend the veil in Hecate's name. Powers of the fate, the 3 in 1. Weave the spell that has begun. By witch's venom and king's great crown. Let only truth in my tongue be bound. Now bring it to your heart. Allow yourself to connect there. And I'm going to go ahead and start the mantras. I want you to close your eyes while you feel this. A good visualization while we do this is I like to visualize spinning lights, spinning fire. If you've ever seen The Wheel of Time, totally just go full-blown Maureen Sedai. Let it happen. The visualization is your own. For my For those who want to connect deeper to Hecate in this way, I want you to visualize a woman of color. 3 heads. 1 facing right at you, 2 facing to the sides, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. 6 arms. Each arm holds a different implement. Her hair is wild. She is clad in saffron robes. She has 6 legs in movement and dance. 1 toe, 1 point of her toe rests gently on the floor. And as we see this and as we visualize her and we gaze upon her, and we get our mantra, we want to share an exchange of lights, an exchange of power and fire. This is going to reverberate outwards to the very edges of the universe, known and unknown, and back. You might feel a little woozy or dizzy. Just keep yourself nice and grounded. You should be fine. Those of you online, same thing. Breathe in. Let's turn our focus now to what we're doing. We're creating a chart of compassionate truth and knowing when to speak. Breathe in and out onto your chart. light speak truth now. Darkness. Add your own incantations, prayers, affirmations to this, letting your breath charge the stone, the cord, the flower, the plant. Daughters of dark night, Prototrices Anthropos, whose the measure at the fabric of life. Their prayers, etc. Standing our side without the projectees, the very thread of you. This change to accept the inevitable. Or faith in fortune's favor. Breathe in. We thank you, Hecate, for your presence and blessing.
Thank you, God, for your presence and blessing.
Thank you, Hecate, for your presence and blessings.
And give offering and praise to you in all your forms.
Give offering and praise to you in all your forms.
To the fates, Clotho, Lachesis, and Anthropos, we give thanks. To the Impuse, Morbo, Orbo, and other spirits under her command, we give thanks. To the spinners and movers, the dancers, the weavers, we give praise and thanks. To the untimely dead who follow her, we give thanks. To the ancestors who form the very basis of our being, we give thanks. I ask that the goddess Hecate guide us with her twin torches of mercy and severity. Let us know when to speak. Let us know when to hold our tongues. Let us know when our venom is the anti-venom. And let us know when our venom is just death. Let us be aware and hear, and let us react with compassion, kindness, and peace. Ego se atalessa, Cairo, Cairo, Cairo. I ask the blessings of the goddess Hecate be upon you all. I ask that all of you, regardless of where you stand, who you are, how you affiliate, I hope that as you move forward from here today, this charm anchors you not only in your truth, but allows you to be anchored in your path, that allows you to be anchored in your journey, and allows you to be the anchor for others as well. For fate and fortune's favor, Hail Hecate.
Hail Hecate!
All right, that is Sunday service. If you would like to go into the shop, you're more than welcome to. Just go up through the door, come in around. But other than that, I'm just going to go ahead, turn the lights on. Sorry, I should have big lighted. I didn't do that. I broke tradition because Steph wasn't here, and she didn't remind me. Sorry.
You gave us a little bit of warning.
A little bit.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk just a little bit, since we still have a few more minutes, about some of the upcoming things for the temple, and some of the other ongoings. All right. So first and foremost, we always have the full moons and the dark moons that are hosted by the temple. Full moons are more ecstatic. I cannot, as much as I would love to, I would love to stream those online. I do not have the capacity nor the faith in technology to handle that. As for Dark Moons are going to be a little bit more easy to stream. So I think I am going to start consistently streaming the Deep Nuns.
Okay.
God, let's see. We have the Hecate and the Serpent's Path class this evening at 5:30. If you are interested in that, yes.
I'm
Oh,
just saying I'm interested.
If you are interested in that, as a member of the ATC, I will extend that to you via scholarship, simply because I can understand it is a little bit of a conundrum. What is it? I'll tell you. Snakes. So if you would like to join that, I think it's only $10, but I'm not going to turn you away if you can't afford it. Like, it's going to be a good class. I even made a PowerPoint, y'all.
Wow.
And I had Anthony bring his computer so we could use it. My adapter is not going here until Monday. So
Your adapter is not adapting.
my adapter is not adapting because my adapter does not yet exist in my reality. So not only do we have that, we have the Sabbath rituals that we are doing. A little bit about the Aquarian Tabernacle Church. For those of you who are just joining online, and for those of you who are either new or have not heard me talk about the Aquarian Tabernacle Church. Okay? So the Aquarian Tabernacle Church has been around since the 70s. The Aquarian Tabernacle Church has been fighting for pagan and religious civil liberties and rights since 70s-ish. 79, I think, is when the branch of the U.S. which was actually established, because the first branch, I believe, was in Canada. It could be wrong on that, though. What this means is that we have the ability to extend the Coven bylaws unto you. And the Coven bylaws basically are, think Satanic Temple, but not Satanic Temple. Literally, all those things we get to extend to you because that is what our Coven believes. Is we believe in bodily autonomy for all, gender affirming care for all. We believe that it shouldn't matter who you love or anything like that. That's one of the reasons why in the temple, I'm not high priest, I'm high priestess. Or Austin. Or just dude. I don't fucking care, okay? Because those things have no place, in my opinion. Unless they're a part of your tradition and you want to hear them for your own. That's great. Okay. So we have the serpent class, we have sigil crafting, we have open coven conversations, which are basically spiritual learning circles. Yes.
I have a question because I saw that there was a meditation Monday.
Monday
Yes.
meditation.
What's that?
So Manic Meditation Mondays are something I'm going to be leading. What essentially I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through guided meditation to help clear your energy and set you up for the rest of the week. Okay? It is free to attend. Donations are accepted, obviously, because mortgage. But what we'll be doing is we'll be going over some basic meditation techniques in there. I'll always talk about breathing because breathing is so important. We'll do some breath work, and then we'll do some healing work, and you should be set up to tackle Monday number 2, which is Tuesdays. Right? Monday 2.0. So, with the ATC behind us, we have so many things that we actually have the ability to do. It's just a matter of making sure that we have individuals in the community who are interested. One of the things is Spiral Scouts. I already have someone else on that. Spiral Scouts is basically Boy Scouts / Girl Scouts for witches and pagans. And yeah, right?
That is so cool.
On top of that, we do have other further trainings that we can offer and so many other things. If Reiki is also something you've been interested in, the Reiki Clinic will be open officially, most likely starting mid-July. The Reiki Clinic I am going to be offering is going to be traditional Usui and Holy Fire. The thing is, I'm not going to teach you Reiki in the sense of Reiki is love and light. I'm going to teach you actual Reiki, which means actual history, which means those of you who are Reiki masters who don't know what Gasho means, means you'll actually get a Reiki education, which is what should be happening. Otherwise, you truly are appropriating instead of actually doing the correct thing. You cannot just learn it from a book either. That is not how that works. So if that is something you are interested in, I will be offering the 2-day classes like I have before with levels 1 and 2, but I'm also going to be offering, I'm going to do when we have a, okay, it's official, today we have clinic hours. I am going to be offering essentially a free What is Reiki class. And in that class, I will be offering level 1 tune-ups for free, as well as level 1 placements for a donation to the temple, essentially. And it's not going to be an exorbitant. I'm not going to teach you the history in that point, because I'm assuming you're not going to be a professional practitioner. But getting the placement or the attunement for level 1 gives you the ability to work on yourself and other initiates or other practitioners. Which means if you do that, you can come to the Reiki shares we'll be doing and learn. I'm also going to be having a Reiki apprenticeship program where you can be working with me or one of my other people who I have trained, where you'll get actual practical hours in. So you don't just go out into the world and you're like, how do I do a Reiki session? Instead, you'll actually get to be there and experience it and get practicum hours. Then you don't end up falling back on other techniques and modalities that have nothing to do with that actual modality, like light language. Not that there's anything wrong with light language. I just think it is new age glossolalia, which is what it is. And if you don't know what glossolalia is, I don't need to explain it to you. Google it. If you can't spell it, Google it. It's in the palm of your hands. You have the ability. So, if that is something you're interested in, please let me know. For those of you who are online who are like, oh, that sounds lame, the Reiki I teach, I have the ability to do placements and stuff online. I also have a Reiki grid that I will be setting up that is connected to, I think, 2 other physical grids around the world. One at the North Pole and one at the South Pole, and then there's a actual physical grid in I think there's one in Rome, around the Vatican or something. There's grids that this is connected to. And what we will do is we will take lists once a week. We'll take suggestions for names and list people who need Reiki, people who need healing, extra support, whatever that is. And we will be placing them in the grid, and me and my Reiki masters, who I have trained, will be then sitting and actually sending Reiki towards those goals. And that will then be amplified by all the other Reiki that is being done and sent at those other things. So we're doing all we can to make sure that you have access to it. We are doing all we can to make sure that you have community. Tell people. We now officially have a website, HecateApotropeia.org. Okay? We are officially in the process of so many other things. And I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. If it were not for this community, if it were not for this opportunity that I had to not only better myself by doing a lot of healing work, internal personal work, that I still am doing, because it's always going. It never stops. If you think it stops, then your concept of growth is entirely out of proportion. I want to say thank you. It's not possible without you. And as much as I'm like, I don't want to think of myself as a reverend with a congregation, I don't think I can ask for a better congregation to start off with right out the gate without being in existence for even over a year. So new and old, thank you. I appreciate all of you so much. And I really, truly hope that as we continue to do this, we continue to build community together, because this community needs it. And so far, just things, saw things get worse. Oh, we're here for you. We support you. And I don't know why I sound like Bobcat going away. So have a good day and happy witching. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, for the website, hecateapotropeia.org.
You said that.
Okay, HEKATEAPOTROPAIA. Period. ORG.
I'm just gonna let you sign until I hit okay.
Okay, there you go. Awesome.